My name's Sophie LaRock, and I was born and raised here. There's a connection and a love there that, can't be replaced. It was really the most wonderful childhood imaginable. I mean, you could do anything you wanted. I mean, lots of times we never came in for meals and be gone all day sometimes.
Gordon Cartwright. I'm a third generation rancher in the Pekisko Valley. And still at it.
I sort of grew up taking for granted the wildlife and the fishing and the fresh water. And as I got older, I realized that it wasn't something that was going to be here forever unless I became involved in preserving it.
People here wanted to maintain the original ranching land use. And so we've made a big effort since the 1970s to find some way to do that. And salts has been the way that I have done that.
My name is Justin Thompson, and I'm the Executive Director of the Southern Alberta Land Trust Society. SALT is an organization that's dedicated to working with landowners to preserve land that's of high ecological value. And we're doing that because we want those lands to continue providing things like clean water, wildlife habitat, and also to supporting our ranching industry.
We've always been inclined to keep this land base secure for ranching, but at the time that I took the easement, we had to make changes. We were losing the carrying capacity on the west end of the ranch, and we had the opportunity to, when we downsized the land base, to take advantage of the tax advantages that came with the conservation easements.
It's been instilled in us, obviously, to have a lot of respect for the land and the wildlife that live on it. For the latest generation, for myself and my sisters, I have two sisters. I'm the youngest. It makes it easier in a way for succession planning. So in order to say, you know what, this can't be broken up, this can't be subdivided, so you can kind of avoid a lot of issues in the future if you can just say, you know what, that's not even an option.
The thing that the conservation easement does is it goes with your title, so it isn't just for the time that you're using the land, it's for the time that anyone who you might sell to or give it to your family to, they have to respect what's on your easement. And this is a very powerful tool.
The biggest benefit will be to the future generations if we can preserve enough open landscapes and landscapes of scale to manage them well. There's nothing more difficult than trying to manage small parcels of land with footprints on them. And these operations to work well and to keep the aesthetics of open landscapes, need to be of scale. It's about sustainable food production, but it's also about water production, and of course the beneficiaries of that are wildlife as well.
I think this is an overarching feeling for really most of those of us around Pointer Creek, is that we don't want to see everything chopped up and subdivided and turned into condos.
I think a lot of people don't realize as they're driving through southern Alberta, whether you're going down Highway 22 or Highway 6, beautiful land that you're driving through is private land. And that land is being managed and stewarded by the landowners. And it's being managed for their own grazing, but it's also being stewarded to the benefit of all Albertans. People appreciate that landscape, whether they just drive through it, or whether the water they drink flows through it, or whether they like to go hunting on that land, or just, wildlife watching. That in a way, that private land is being managed to benefit all Albertans at very little cost to Albertans.
I always see this as, if we can get it right, then there's kind of hope for the world, because when people talk about sustainability, this is where it happens.
it's a wonderful feeling to now have this feeling that not only I relate to this land in the way of wanting to protect it, but so many other people do as well. And salts has really helped to give us that way of doing things.